All right. If you're the CEO or owner of a small and medium-sized business, this message is for you. And I want to address one of the questions that I get often in my day-to-day out supporting businesses and their sales efforts today. And it's, how do I motivate my salespeople? How do I motivate my salespeople? I've got this great team, but they don't seem motivated. So I'm going to share a couple things with you today that I believe will really have an immediate impact on your ability to increase the level of motivation in your sales team. Now, first and foremost, what I will tell you, which you may not want to hear, is you can't motivate people, okay? You got to hire motivated people. If someone's unmotivated, they're unmotivated. There's not a lot you can do to help them. So first and foremost, beyond anything else, hire motivated people. Make sure in your interview process that that is an area that you look at and you dig deep into it, because someone's either motivated or they're not. Okay. Now, assuming we have motivated people on the team, there's a couple of things that I want you to think about when it comes to motivating them, increasing their level of motivation, and inspiring them to a higher level of achievement. I read a book a number of years ago that you may have heard of called Drive by Daniel Pink. And I implemented the lessons of that book in my leadership of my people and found it to work extremely effectively. What he talks about in that book is three main things that help, the three main things that motivate people, okay? They are mastery, purpose, and autonomy. And it's a great book. Highly recommend that you read it. But let's talk about them. So mastery. Mastery is when you are working at perfecting something. You get into what's called the state of flow, or as you guys probably have heard, in the zone. And when you're in the zone, the work is its own reward. So how do you create an atmosphere of mastery in your sales team? Well, this comes with relentless pursuit of perfection, knowing that you're never actually going to achieve perfection. So relentless training, development, self-review, purposefully trying to attack sales at a perfect level is going to build an environment where you are encouraging your people to build mastery. When your people feel like they're building mastery, they're automatically going to be more motivated to do their job, because that process is its own reward. An example of that I'll give you from my many years in leadership was going out on a field ride with a salesperson, and we went out and they nailed the sales process, had an amazing meeting. They didn't even close the deal, but when they walked out of that meeting, they were on a high because they executed on such a high level, because we practiced mastery as an ongoing basis. That alone helped drive that salesperson to be more motivated, to do more, and ultimately that person was much more successful. All right, let's talk about purpose. Purpose is the second one that really matters to people when you want to motivate them or increase their level of motivation. When you're selling a product, that product may or may not have a deep, meaningful purpose, but you need to create something on your team with your salespeople that's deeper than just the product that you sell. You've got to find out what that is and build that purpose into your everyday conversations, into the mission of your organization, so that the people that work with you and for you understand that what they're doing is greater than just the next deal, okay? Really, really important, especially in today's day and age. This has always been relevant. It's even more important, I believe, now today than ever. But you have to create and find out, what is that purpose? What are you bringing to the table in an organization beyond them going out, selling something, and making some commission dollars? What change are you impacting, and how is your product, or how is your company, or how is the culture that you've created at your organization part of something bigger? Okay, very, very, very important. And the last one's autonomy, okay? Autonomy is very important. People want autonomy. Now, everybody needs a certain degree of direction and leadership and support, but you've got to foster an environment that allows a certain degree of autonomy. Nobody wants to be micromanaged. We all know that. And unfortunately, a lot of sales organizations, that's what they do. They micromanage to death. And that does the exact opposite of motivate your team. In fact, it demotivates your team. So you have to think about what levels of autonomy can I honor, how you trust your team. It's imperative that you trust them until they've given you a reason not to, which is a whole other topic that we'll get to eventually. But provide them with a certain amount of autonomy. Lead them based on the result and the expectations, but give them freedom of different ways to get there. That'll make your team stronger, that'll empower them to do more, and ultimately they will be more motivated. They'll tap into their intrinsic motivation and get you better results. So think about those things. Mastery, purpose, and autonomy are really the components of what drives many people today. Again, stolen from the book Drive by Daniel Pink. Highly suggest you read it. It's a great leadership book. Daniel Pink's got some really good stuff, but I've put it into practice and it is very, very effective. If you want to chat more, I'd love to connect in the comments section. There's my calendar invite. Set a time. Let's chat.